His epic narrative Sri Ramayana Darshanam, a modern rendering of Hindu epic Ramayana, is regarded as revival of era of Mahakavya in contemporary form. His writings and his contribution to universal humanism gives him a unique place in modern Indian literature. He was confirmed Padma Vibhushan by Government of India in 1988. He penned Karnataka state anthem Jaya Bharatiya Jananiya Tanujati. Today we are going to speak about life and times of the great Kannada poet Kuempu. Palli Venkatappa Puttappa, who goes by the pen name Kuempu, was born on 29 December 1904 in Ikkode, a village in Shivamogga district in erstwhile kingdom of Mysore. Kuempu's father was Venkatappa Gowda and mother was Seetamma. Kuempu also had two sisters as well. Kuempu began his education when a home tutor named Ananda Rao was appointed to teach him English and Kannada. Kuempu's father, in a mysterious circumstances, lost his property, due to which the entire family had to relocate to Tirthahalli. In Tirthahalli, at the age of 8, Kuempu joined school to complete his primary and secondary education. Tragedy struck the family when Kuempu lost his father at the age of 12 due to ill health. However, Kuempu continued his education. He completed his high school in Wesley High School and his college studies in Maharaja College at Mysore, majoring in Kannada. He was deeply influenced by the teachings of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa from a very young age. Kuempu began his academic career as lecturer in Maharaja College in 1929. He then joined Central College in Bangalore in 1936 as assistant professor. He again rejoined Maharaja College in 1946 as professor. He became the principal of Maharaja College in 1955. In 1956, he became the first ever graduate of Mysore University to be elected as Vice Chancellor of Mysore University. He held this position till his retirement in 1960. During his tenure, learning, research, publication and study in Kannada received a big boost. Manasa Gangotri, his brainchild, a campus facility with arts, science, extensions and specialization in different branches, came up. Kuempu, who was born in Malnad, its lush greenery had a great impact on him. Kuempu had taken inspiration from everything he has seen and heard. Plants and animals were his constant companion. Local folk songs, cultures and practices also had a great impact on him. His father Venkatappa Gowda and uncle Ramanna would go on to narrate Ramayana and Mahabharata to people who could not read and write, and also give their own commentary on it. When Kuempu started studying English, poets like Wordsworth, Keats and Shelley had a great impact on him. Thus, Kuempu began his writings, but it was in English. Kuempu's teachers and his classmates encouraged him. When Kuempu was in class 10, he produced a 16-page anthology of collected poems known as Beginner's Muse. All this changed when an Irish poet named James H. Cousins visited India. James also was a great admirer of Indian art, culture and literature. When James visited Mysore University to deliver a lecture, Kuempu's teachers encouraged him to produce his writings to James. Kuempu, who then presented his writings to James, flipped through Kuempu's writings and looked at Kuempu, who was wearing khadi, and asked him why his nationalist view had not extended to his writings as well. He asked Kuempu why he had not written anything in his own native language. Kuempu, who until then was receiving praises from his teachers and classmates for his writings in English, was taken by a surprise. Kuempu tried to defend English by telling that certain profound thoughts cannot be expressed in Kannada as well as they could be expressed in English. James advised Kuempu, telling that no language in itself is capable. He gave an example of Tagore, who had elevated Bengali language to new levels through his writings. He said that if Kuempu is able to produce epic literature in his native language, then people in the West would translate it into their own language like Tagore's poetry. He strictly told that Kuempu won't be able to produce creative literature in English since it's an alien language to him. Kuempu, disappointed, collected his writings from James and returned. But he saw the point James was making and decided to switch to Kannada and never looked back.
O nanna chetana hagu nee aniketana ರೂಪ ರೂಪಗಳನ್ನು ದಾಟಿ ನಾಮಕೋಟಿಗಳನ್ನು ಮೀಟಿ ಎದೆಯ ಬಿರಿಯ ಭಾವದೀಟಿ ಓ ನನ್ನ ಚೇತನ ಆಗು ನೀ ಅನಿಕೇತನ ನೂರು ಮತದ ಹೊಟ್ಟ ತೂರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ತತ್ವದ ಎಲ್ಲೆ ಮೀರಿ ನಿರ್ದಿಗಂತವಾಗಿ ಏರಿ ಓ ನನ್ನ ಚೇತನ ಆಗು ನೀ ಅನಿಕೇತನ. ಎಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ನಿಲ್ಲದಿರು, ಮನೆಯನೆಂದೂ ಕಟ್ಟದಿರು, ಕೊನೆಯನೆಂದೂ ಮುಟ್ಟದಿರು, ಓ ಅನಂತವಾಗಿರು. ಓ ನನ್ನ ಚೇತನ ಆಗು ನೀ ಅನಿಕೇತನ. ಅನಂತತಾನ್ ಅನಂತವಾಗಿ ಆಗುತಿಹನೆ ನಿತ್ಯ ಯೋಗಿ. ಅನಂತ ನೀ ಅನಂತವಾಗು, ಆಗು 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 ಆಗು, ಓ ನನ್ನ ಚೇತನ ಆಗು ನೀ ಅನಿಕೇತನ.
Kuempu is known to be one of the greatest poets of 20th century. His prolific work spanning across 5 decades, he wrote 70 books. It's comprised of 38 poetry and 1 epic Sri Ramayana Darshanam. He wrote 14 mythological plays with modern interpretations. In his writing, Kuempu clearly condemned blind superstitions and upheld universal humanism. Kuempu also wrote children's stories, plays and translations. Kuempu wrote his own autobiography known as Nenapina Doni and also wrote biography of Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. I honors heap Kuempu throughout his lifetime. For his epic Sri Ramayana Darshanam, Kuempu received award of Sahitya Academy of India. For the same work, he received Jnanapita Prashasti in 1958, making him the first Kannada poet to receive the award. He received Pampa Prashasti in 1988. The University of Bangalore, Mysore, Gulbarga and Karnataka gave him honorary doctorates. The University of Karnataka conferred upon him the degree of Nadoja. The World Academy of Arts and Culture conferred upon him honorary Doctorate Day letters. Karnataka government conferred upon him the title Rashtra Kavi. He also was awarded Karnataka Ratna Award in 1992. He received the Padma Bhushan Award in 1957 and Padma Vibhushan Award in 1988. He also became the president of Karnataka Literary Council in Dharwad in 1957. On 30th April 1937, Kuempu married Emavati Amma, daughter of Ramanna Gowda of Devangi. The couple had 4 children: Purnachandra Tejasvi, Kokiladaya Chaitra, Hindulekha and Taradi. Kuempu's son Purnachandra Tejasvi was a polymath who made significant contribution to Kannada literature, calligraphy, digital imaging, social movements and agriculture. Kuempu was not only just a great poet. The way he lived his life itself is a message. He strongly believed that Vedas and Upanishads are the common spiritual heritage of India. He said, "The child which by birth was the universal man is fretted by us with such constraints as country, language, religion, caste, race and color. To free it from all these limitations and transform it into an enlightened soul, this should become the first and foremost function of our education, culture and civilization." Kuempu is credited for giving Kannada hundreds of new words, terminologies and phrases with distinctively precise ideas. This led to common man asking him to suggest names for their newborns through postal service for decades, which he obliged. As Kuempu's popularity grew, he used to receive death threats due to his rationalist beliefs, so much so that a member of his family had to accompany him on his evening walks. Even after Kuempu's death, his son Purnachandra Tejasvi continued to receive death threats. Kuempu evolved a distinctive model of marriage during the 70s. He advised the youth, "Don't try to reform the world or society or priestly orthodoxy. Nothing will change if your minds do not change. If you are individuals with integrity, try to follow a small suggestion of mine for reforming yourselves. Avoid dowry, blind rituals, and grand wedding ceremonies. These might not seem evolutionary, but you will experience the beauty and joy of doing what you believe in." Kuempu never attended grand weddings and he ensured that the marriage ceremonies of his children were simple. Kuempu developed his own distinctive model of weddings known as Mantra Mangalya, which is an extension of his beliefs of universal humanism. Briefly put, it rejects communal identities, calls it artificial and narrow, and asks the humans to experience the world anew on their own. In Mantra Mangalya, there is no place for dowry or horoscope. The ceremony is officiated by the family members and there is no music played in the ceremony, as the ceremony demanded introspection by the individuals present. The first one to experience Mantra Mangalya was Kuempu's son Purnachandra Tejasvi. Later, his family members and friends adopted the ceremony. Kuempu died on 10 November 1994 in his residence Uday Ravi in Mysore. Kavishaila is a rock monument made of magnetolic rocks dedicated to Kuempu. It is on top of a small inn in Kuppalli, arranged in a circular fashion. The rocks have been placed to resemble Stone Age in England. At the center of the rock monument is the place where Kuvempu is laid to rest. Near this monument is a small rock where Kuvempu used to sit and discuss about literature and other topics with his other literature friends. A rock containing the etched signatures of Kuvempu, B.M. Shrikantaya and T.S. Venkataya is present near the monument. Purnachandra Tejasi later engraved his signature on the same rock. Granite slabs containing the engraved poems and quotes of Kuvempu has been placed near this monument. After Kuvempu's death, his house in Mysore is converted into a museum. On the birth anniversary of the legendary poet, the Rashtrakavi Kuvempu Trust was founded at his birthplace to nourish his legacy and also the Kannada language. In his inaugural address, the then Chief Minister of Karnataka, S. Bangarappa, suggested the writer's home in Kuppalli in Shivamogga must be developed in the same manner as Shakespeare's home in England. The RKP maintains the memorial site with care. It has turned Kuvempu's home in Kuppalli into an attractive museum with photo gallery. It organizes annual workshop on the occasion of writer's birth anniversary. It also has built an auditorium where various performances, seminar activities are hosted throughout the year. The memorial attracts lakhs of visitors every year. Every year on 29 December, Kuvempu's birth anniversary is celebrated as Universal Humanism Day. In November 2015, Kuvempu's Padma Vibhushan award was stolen. The prime suspect, on being arrested, had said that he may have lost it in the forest as he fled after stealing it, which led to a search operation in and around Kuppalli, all in vain. The Rashtrakavi Kuvempu Trust, which maintains the museum, requested the Ministry of Home Affairs for a replica, but it was turned down on the grounds of recipient not being alive. Even though Kuvempu died in 1994, he is a household name in Karnataka to this day. His works has immortalized him, but the message behind his works are relevant to this day. Kuvempu's life, literary works and messages has inspired and will continue to inspire generations to come.